Sorry, I accidentally turned off the video. So I was showing you what is in my my little side table here, and this is rubber stamps, stamp pads, and all of those boxes house my rubber stamps. I have them somewhat labeled, somewhat unmounted in words, and I have seasonal stamps and such. I also keep my paper cutters and folders and my long stapler and some of the tools that I don't use all the time. I kind of keep them in there, and I'm going to open the other side of this. And this is where I store my extra paper for the printer, and that is my, that little stuff down there is my scale and my supplies for filling Etsy orders. The little thank you gifts that I put in my orders and such. This is just a little inspiration spot with pictures of my grandkids, and a little lamp there. This is a little shelf up high. It's got wedding pictures of my son and his wife, my husband and I. You want to see what I look like on my wedding day? Uh-oh, you're getting a crazy glare. And my parents and my husband's parents. It was just Valentine's Day, so it's a, well, I keep those up there really all year round unless it's Christmas, but I really love having that up there at Valentine's Day. Okay, so this is my wall of supplies here. On either end of this unit are these long cupboards that I found at a thrift store, and I'm gonna back up so you can see it. It's got my paper, that's scrapbook paper in color families in those project boxes. That shelf in the middle there with those smaller boxes are rickrack and washi tape and some finished ephemera, and that's my messy shelf. It's got plastic bags and printer things and paper towels and crayons, and my crocodile lives over in that corner, so it's a mess. There's my kids, my two of my grandkids, my son and his wife and the littlest, and this old little leprechaun who I dearly love. He's been in my family a long time. Okay, so let's look at this first shelf here. So I keep a lot of my inspirational things up there too. Those little figurines are from a very dear friend of mine, and they were painted by a very talented and precious, sweet artist named Joan Hallmark. You can find her on Instagram and all of her sweet little painted figurines. So my button jars, my little collections, my more of my buttons, crochet and knitting needles, things that have been made for me by my precious sister. This is where my sewing machine lives, and those two Mary Engelbreit hat boxes are filled with sewing supplies. So my sewing machine is under there, and I can just whip my desk chair right over. I just move those boxes and pull my sewing machine into the middle, plug it in, and I can sew right there. So I love that. Below, you see that this black and white bin is filled with delicious fabric. Doesn't it look oh so organized? I go through spurts where I'll organize it, and then, when I'm digging through things for a journal, it tends to get kind of crazy again, but that's where I keep my fabrics that I love the most, that I use the most. And then also in here are my embroidery flosses. This is my bin O cream lace. I'm just gonna show you. Looks like there's a few other things in there, but this is where I keep the laces that I grab all the time for my journals. This lower drawer is lace. Whoops, sorry, my finger got in the way. It's all my laces and ribbons and trims. They're mostly categorized in or organized in Ziploc bags by colors, varieties. This is all Cantha quilt squares. I've got Christmas. So I have more trim than any one person should own, but I absolutely love it. This bottom drawer here is kind of my mixed media drawer. I have the rubber stamp and distressing and sponges and the pads that I use all the time, my heat tool, and then over here are extra supplies, paints, markers, various mixed media things kind of stacked over in that drawer. So I'm gonna kick that. Those are my slippers. These are my crafty slippers. Okay, so this is my desk, my computer desk where I do all of my computer stuff. And on this side, oh, I'm sorry, this is kind of important. Above here, this is just some crafty things I use for my journals. This is my beloved journal that I bought from Gail Augustinelli that is a treasure. Some of my favorite books. This houses all of my my awls and my templates and my threads and needles. Everything for book binding is in this container here. This is my book cradle that I use when I bind signatures in and or put the holes in the signatures, and this is holds a book open. This, my grandkids call me Mimi. These 3 boxes house brads, eyelets, sequins, rhinestones, you know, all of those really important things that we need when we craft and make journals. This is filled with paper. This is one of my favorite little photos. My husband took it. My grandkid, those are my grandsons, and we are doing something. They love Mimi's crafty area, and they love to look at stuff. We'll look at things on Amazon, or we'll just look at whatever, animals, I don't know, whatever. But they love to be in my crafty spot, and they love to be in front of my computer with me. That's one of my favorite little pictures. My husband took that recently. So this is filled with adhesives. You know, all of my extra glues and tapes and tape runners and glue sticks and all of that. A few favorite books and sticker books. I just got this little sign for Christmas. I haven't really attached it yet, but it's my happy place. This little thing is filled with mason jars, and inside of those mason jars are keys and chandelier crystals and charms and beads and safety pins and all kinds of stuff. There's jars on the back side as well. That's a little handmade paper bowl that I made that's filled with just, I think just junk.